Ever felt the salty breeze of Dover whisper secrets from centuries past? Let's uncover the hidden wonders of this ancient port town on Tall Tales UK. A quick note, these tall tales are purely fictional fun, with a bit of British cheek. Let's start on the white cliffs of Dover, where chalky giants have stood guard since Roman times. Their dazzling white faces a beacon for ships crossing the Channel, from Julius Caesar's legions in 55 BC to the evacuees of Dunkirk in 1940. Dover, perched on England's southeastern edge, has been the gateway to Britain for over 2,000 years. Its cliffs towering over the narrowest part of the English Channel, just 21 miles from France on a clear day. When you can squint and swear you see Calais winking back at you. The Romans called it Portus Dubris, building a lighthouse in AD 50 that still stands in Dover Castle's grounds. Its weathered stones are testament to the town's ancient roots, while medieval kings turned the castle into a fortress, its walls echoing with the clatter of swords during the 1216 siege by Prince Louis of France. During World War II, Dover became the frontline town, its cliffs hiding secret tunnels where Operation Dynamo was planned, saving 338,000 soldiers from Dunkirk's beaches as the Luftwaffe roared overhead, the town's air raid sirens wailing like banshees through the night. On these windswept cliffs, where seagulls cry and the sea crashes below, a ghostly figure still marches, his sandals slapping the chalk with a Roman rhythm. Meet Centurion Gaius, a spectral soldier who vanished in AD 52, while guarding the new lighthouse. He tripped on a rabbit hole and tumbled into the sea, his curse echoing as he fell. Gaius was a stout chap, his bronze helmet glinting in the sun, his red cloak flapping like a flag as he barked orders in Latin, his men grumbling, "Blimey, Gaius, give us a breather," as they hauled stones for the lighthouse, their sweat mixing with the salt spray that stung their faces. That fateful day, as Gaius patrolled the cliff edge, shouting, "Keep your eyes peeled, lads, them Britons are sneaky," a rabbit darted from its burrow, and Gaius, more used to fighting than hopping, stumbled, his spear clattering as he plummeted into the waves below. His last words a curse Jupiter's beard, "I'll haunt this cliff forever." The sea swallowed him whole, his men staring in disbelief, muttering, "Poor old Gaius, done in by a bunny," as they scratched their heads, the lighthouse flame flickering in the wind like a mocking laugh. Now, Gaius's ghost marches along the cliffs, his sandals echoing on the chalk, his voice a gravelly growl, "Hoy, ye trespasser, get off me post." If you leave a Roman coin, say, a shiny denarius on the cliff path, nestled in the grass where the rabbits still scamper, Gaius might salute you, his ghostly spear glinting as he grumbles, "Fair enough, mate, carry on. But don't wander too close to the edge, or he'll march you right off into the channel, your boots splashing into the icy waves below." On windy days, his growl mixes with the gulls' cries, a Roman echo that sends shivers down the spine of every hiker snapping pics of the cliffs, their cameras trembling as they whisper, "Did you hear that?" Their scarves flapping like Gaius's cloak in the breeze. Some say Gaius once chased a rambler off the cliff path in 1985, the poor bloke sprinting back to Dover town centre, shouting, "I ain't fighting no Roman ghost." A tale told over fish in chips at the Eight Bells pub ever since. Others claim his sandals echoed so loudly during a 2010 storm that a Coast Guard swore he saw a centurion on the cliff, saluting the sea like he was still on duty. A story that's made every Dover cliff walk a bit more thrilling. So, if you're on the white cliffs and hear sandals on the chalk, leave a coin for Centurion Gaius. He's still guarding Dover, one ghostly step at a time. But Dover's cliffs aren't the only spots with whispers. Let's head to Dover Castle, where a smuggler's shade lurks in the shadows. Dover Castle, perched atop the cliffs since the 11th century, is a fortress of legends, its grey stone walls weathering Viking raids, medieval sieges, and Nazi bombs, its history stretching from William the Conqueror's reign to its role as a World War II command post, where Vice Admiral Ramsay orchestrated the Dunkirk evacuation from secret tunnels carved into the chalk. their damp walls echoing with the clatter of typewriters and the crackle of radios as officers shouted, "Get those boats moving, lads." In 1940, the castle's medieval tunnels, dug during the 1216 siege, were later used by smugglers in the 18th century, who ferried contraband brandy and lace through the dark passages, their lanterns flickering as they dodged the king's revenue men, whispering, "Keep it quiet, mates, or we're done for." In the shadows, in these shadowy tunnels, where the air smells of damp stone and old secrets, a spectral figure still carries his loot, his lantern swinging with a ghostly glow. Meet smuggler Silas, a shade who vanished in 1789 while hiding a stash of French brandy. He tripped on a loose stone, and the tunnel collapsed, burying him in chalk. Silas was a wiry rogue, his tricorn hat tilted at a rakish angle, his coat pockets stuffed with lace as he winked at his crew, muttering, "This'll fetch a pretty penny at the Dog Inn, lads." As they hauled barrels through the tunnels, their boots squelching in the muddy passages, that night, as Silas led his gang with a whisper of "One more load, then we're off to the pub." A stone shifted underfoot, and the tunnel rumbled like a giant's belly, the chalk crashing down as Silas shouted, "Save the brandy, ye daft sots." His last words before the darkness swallowed him, his lantern snuffed out like a candle in a gale, his crew fleeing as the tunnel sealed him in, muttering, "Poor Silas, done in by his own greed." Now, Silas's ghost haunts the castle's medieval tunnels, his lantern glowing with a sickly green light, his voice a raspy cackle, fancy a tipple, goof. If you leave a cork on the tunnel floor, tucked in a shadowy corner, where the chalk walls weep with moisture, Silas might share a ghostly sip, his spectral brandy burning with a fiery tang, but don't drink too much, or you'll stagger out of the tunnels, 3 sheets to the wind, seeing double for a week. On moonlit nights, his cackle mixes with the drip of water, a smuggler's echo that sends shivers down the spine of every Dover Castle tour guide, leading visitors through the passages, their torches flickering as they whisper, "Silas is about, best keep moving." Some say Silas once rolled a spectral barrel into a tour group in 1992, the barrel vanishing as the guide shouted, "Mind your backs." A tale told over pints at the Castle Café ever since. Others claim his lantern glowed so brightly during a 2018 night tour that a tourist swore he saw a tricorn hat in the shadows, a story that's made every tunnel visit a bit more daring. So, if you're in Dover Castle's tunnels and see a green glow, leave a cork for smuggler Silas, he's still smuggling, one ghostly barrel at a time. From smugglers' tunnels to ancient ports, let's head to Dover's waterfront, where a Viking rune whispers of the past. Dover's port has been a bustling gateway since Roman times, its harbour welcoming Caesar's legions in 55 BC, their ships creaking as soldiers shouted "Land ho!" in Latin, their shields glinting in the sun. By the 9th century, Viking longships raided the coast, their dragon-headed prows slicing through the waves, their crews chanting war songs as they pillaged Dover's Saxon settlements, leaving behind running stones etched with tales of their voyages, one of which still stands in Dover Museum. Its carvings faded, but its story sharp as a Norse blade. During World War II, the port became a lifeline, ferrying troops and supplies across the channel, its piers echoing with the clatter of boots and the rumble of lorries as sailors shouted, "Hurry up, mates, Jerry's on the way." Under the shadow of barrage balloons floating like clouds in the sky. In this ancient port, where the sea smells of salt and history, a Viking relic still speaks, its runes glowing with a spectral light. Meet the rune of Ragnar, a ghostly stone that vanished in 866 after a Viking raid. It toppled into the harbour during a storm, and its curse awoke. Ragnar was a towering Norse warrior, his beard braided with amber beads, his axe notched from countless battles, his voice booming as he shouted for Odin, "We raid." To his crew, their longship, the Sea Serpent, crashing onto Dover's shore, their shields painted with ravens as they looted the Saxon village, their laughter mixing with the screams of fleeing villagers. That night, as Ragnar carved his rune of victory for the Danes. A storm swept in, the waves roaring like Thor's hammer, and the stone fell into the harbour. Ragnar shouting Odin's curse, "I'll guard me rune," as he leapt after it, vanishing into the churning sea, his crew muttering Ragnar's done for, the fall. As they sailed off without him, their ship vanishing into the storm. Now, Ragnar's rune whispers in Dover's port, its spectral carvings glowing on the pier, its voice a gravelly chant, "Heed me tale, ye landlubber, if you leave a seashell on the pier, nestled between the planks where the gulls squawk for chips, the rune might share its saga, its rune shimmering with a Viking glow, but don't touch it, or you'll feel the icy grip of the North Sea for a month, your fingers tingling with frostbite. On stormy nights, its chant mixes with the waves' roar, a Viking echo that sends shivers down the spine of every Dover fisherman mending their nets, their hands trembling as they whisper Ragnar's rune is singing." Some say the rune glowed so brilliantly during a 1975 gale that a docker swore he heard Viking chants, running back to the pub shouting, "Working tonight." A tale told over pints at the Royal Cinque Ports Yacht Club ever since. Others claim its chant woke a sailor in 2019, the pier shaking as if Ragnar's longship had docked. A story that's made every port visit a bit more thrilling. So, if you're at Dover's port and hear a Viking chant, leave a shell for Ragnar's rune it's still singing, a ghostly tale of Dover's past. From Viking runes to wartime wings, let's head to Dover's town square, where a pigeon flutters with a secret. Dover's town square, a quaint cobblestone heart surrounded by Georgian buildings, has seen history unfold. From medieval markets where traders shouted fresh fish straight from the sea, to World War II, when the square buzzed with soldiers awaiting orders, their boots clattering as officers barked "Move out, lads," to the boats during the Dunkirk evacuation. The square's Maison Dieu, a 13th century hospital turned town hall, housed carrier pigeons during the war, their coos a lifeline for coded messages, one of which pigeon nub 40 TW 194 earned the Dickin Medal for delivering a vital SOS from a downed RAF crew in 1942. Its tiny wings beating through enemy fire to save lives. In this bustling square, where the air smells of fish and chips and history, a feathered spy still flutters, its coo echoing with wartime secrets. Meet Pigeon Percy, a spectral bird who vanished in 1943 while carrying a message. He flew to a hawk's talons, and his coo faded into the sky. Percy was a plump pigeon, his grey feathers flecked with white, his tiny message capsule tied to his leg as he cooed "I'll make it, Goove," to his handler, a young WAAF officer named Elsie, who whispered, "Fly fast, Percy, our boys need ye," as she released him from the Maison Dieu's loft, her hands trembling as air raid sirens wailed in the distance. That day, as Percy soared over Dover, a hawk swooped from the clouds, its talons flashing, and Percy vanished, his last coo a defiant "Not today, ye feathered git." As the hawk carried him off, Elsie shouting "Percy, no," from the loft, her binoculars dropping as she watched in horror, the message lost to the wind. Now, Percy's ghost flutters in Dover's town square, his wings shimmering with a silvery glow, his coo a cheeky chirp. "Got a message, mate?" If you leave a breadcrumb on the cobbles, near the Maison Dieu steps where tourists snap selfies, Percy might deliver a ghostly note. Its words are wartime code, but don't read it aloud, or you'll coo like a pigeon for a week, startling everyone at the chip shop. On sunny afternoons, his chirp mixes with the market's bustle, a feathered echo that sends shivers down the spine of every Dover shopper haggling for fish, their baskets trembling as they whisper, "That's Percy, the war pigeon." Some say Percy dropped a spectral note into a tourist's bag in 2000, the paper vanishing as she read SOS, RAF down. A tale told over tea at the Dover Marina Hotel ever since. Others claim his chirp startled a market trader in 2022, his stall shaking as if Percy had landed, A story that's made every square visit a bit more whimsical. So, if you're in Dover's town square and hear a ghostly coo, leave a crumb for Pigeon Percy, he's still flying. A feathered hero of Dover's wartime skies, which hidden whispers your fave. Comment below and subscribe to Tall Tales UK for more whimsical brushish stories. Cheerio.